Hello friends, welcome to this video. This is Rohit. Friends, in today's video we are going to talk about how to create simple registration form using variety of AWT controls. So let's start. Friends, to create registration form we are going to use variety of AWT components that are listed over here. So we are going to use label, TextField, TextArea, checkbox, radio button that will be created with help of CheckboxGroup, then list, choice, and at last button. First of all, I will create one new file over here and we will save that file within the bin directory. So I will write registration form .java. Now first of all I will import the AWT package, so java.awt.*, then I will import java.awt.event. So to handle the window event we are using this package. Next I will create one class over here, so class name will be registration form and we will extend this class from frame class. Now within this class first of all I will create the main method. So within this main method we will try to create the object of registration form class. So here I will write registration form r is equal to new registration form. So after creating this object we will try to create the constructor of this class. So as soon as object will get create, this constructor will get invoked and whatever GUI code we have written it will get executed. So this will be constructor for registration form class. Now within this constructor first of all I will try to set certain common properties for our frame. Okay, so let's try to write code for controlling our frame, how it will appear. So first of all we will make it visible by using set visible method. So let's pass the true value to it, so it will make our frame visible. Next to this I will set the size for our frame. So to set the size of frame I will use set size method. So let's say our size will be 800 by 800. So this will set the size of our frame. Now next to this I will set the title for our frame. So I will use set title method over here. So title of our frame will be registration form. Now after this I will try to set the layout for our frame. So right now I will set the flow layout. Later on I will try to use the setBound method to position every component at required place. Okay, so here I will pass the object of flow layout class. Okay, by default all components will get appear at the center of our frame. Okay, so here we are using flow layout. So according to flow layout all components will get arranged one by one. Okay, the sequence in which we are trying to add to our frame. So this will be title of frame. Okay, and after this one more property I will try to set. So set resizable to false. So we will not able to resize our frame. Okay, so after doing this I will try to add certain code for closing our frame. So by default whenever we try to click on close button frame is not getting closed. Okay, so let's try to save this and I will show you first of all. Okay, later on we will try to add code for closing button. So I will start the command prompt and I will copy this path of bin directory. Okay, so let's switch to our path. Now here I will type javac registration form dot java. Now file got compiled, so we will write java registration form, and now you can see we are getting this frame. Okay, title is registration form, and there is a close button which is not working by default, and this frame is not getting resize. Okay, because we have used set resizable method here and we have pass value false. That's why this frame is not getting resizable. Okay, now we will try to add code for closing this frame. Okay, so here I will close this frame. Now I will try to add code for closing our frame. So here we will write closing frame. So for closing frame we will try to add window listener over here, and within this we will pass the object of window adapter class, and within this now we will implement a method called window closing. So public void window closing, and it requires the object of window event class. So let's say WE, and within this now I will write statement system.exit 0. Okay, now whenever we will click on close button, our window will get closed. So window listener is responsible for handling the events related to window. And how we are adding window listener to our frame? So with help of add window listener. So window listener contains variety of methods related to handling window events. So as we want to implement only single method, that is window closing, we are taking help of window adapter class. That's why we are able to implement only single method here. If we don't use window adapter, then we need to define all methods that are available within window listener interface, and this window event class is required as an object to window closing class. Okay, now let's try to test how it working. So again I will try to compile our file, and now if I click on close, you can see window is getting closed. Okay, now all basic things we have done. Now let's try to write code for creating GUI. So first of all I will try to create the label, okay, which will having text registration form. So let's say label 1 is equal to new label, and here I will pass the title registration form. Okay, and we will try to add this label. So L1. Now if I try to compile our file again, we will get the registration form label at the center of our frame. Okay, there is one error. Okay, I made a mistake within the spelling. So again I will try to compile. Okay, now you can see we are getting this label. Okay, now next to this now we will create the label called first name. Okay, so I will copy this and let's try to duplicate this line like this, and here I will change it to L2, and here the text will be first name. Okay, and I will add this label 2. Now next to this I will create one text field over here. T1 is equal to new text field, and let's say the length will be 15. and let's try to add this text field. Okay, now again I will compile. Okay, it got compiled. Now you can see we got the text field over here with label first name. Now in the same way, now I will add the label and text field for last name. So I have just duplicated all these lines. So it will be label 3, it will be text field 2. So I will add here text field and label. Okay, now here I will change last name. Okay, now in the same way, now next I will add TextArea. So let's say TextArea A is equal to new TextArea, and let's specify the rows and column for our TextArea, and we will add this TextArea. Now I will try to compile again. Okay, and now you can see we got this TextArea over here. Okay, so for this TextArea, let's try to add label for it. So what I will do, I will duplicate these lines again. So here I will make it L4, and instead of last name, now I will use address. Okay, so this will be label for our TextArea. And then after this TextArea, let's try to add hobbies. Okay, so for adding hobbies, we will try to use checkbox. So I will again duplicate this line in order to add hobbies. Okay, so here we will make it L5, and here I will change it to hobbies like this, and we will add this label L5. Now after adding this label, let's try to add certain checkbox which will represent our hobbies. So in order to create checkbox, I will use checkbox class object. So checkbox C1 is equal to new checkbox, and label will be, let's say, cricket. This will be first hobby I will create. So let's add this hobby C1. Okay, like this. Now I will duplicate these lines. So here we will make it C2, and here we will make reading. Okay, and let's try to add this C2 to our frame. Okay, one more hobby I will take. So I will duplicate this line, and we will make it now C3, and here instead of reading, now I will make it, let's say, playing games. Okay, and here it will be C3. Okay, so like this we have added all these hobbies. Now let's try to compile this and see what we will get. Okay, it got compiled, and you can see now we are getting these hobbies label and followed by these checkboxes. Okay, representing our hobbies. Now next to this, we want to add the gender over here. Okay, so it will be, I think, better to add gender after address over here. So to add the gender over here, we need to create the radio buttons. So in order to create radio buttons, we have to use CheckboxGroup. So here we will create CheckboxGroup like this. CheckboxGroup, let's see, CBG is equal to new CheckboxGroup. Okay, and now we will create two checkboxes, male and female, and we will add that checkboxes to our group. So it will work like a radio button. Okay, so I will copy this, and here I will try to paste it. Okay, so it will be, let's say, C4, and it will be male, okay, and group of this checkbox will be CBG, and by default its states will be false. Okay, now in the same way I will try to duplicate these lines, and on next line now, okay, we will make it C5, and here will be female, okay, and again it will belongs to same group CBG, and its states will be false, and it will be C5, and it will be C4. Okay, now let's try to check. So again I will compile our file. Okay, now you can see over here we are getting this radio button. Okay, one will be selectable, okay, but in case of this multiple selection is allowed. Okay, so we also add label for this gender over here. So before this I will copy this and we will try to paste it. Okay, so it will be, let's say, label 6. Okay, L6 will be label, and here will be gender, and let's try to add that. Okay, now after this we will try to create the list. Okay, so in order to create the list we will use list class object. Let's say list L is equal to new list. Okay, and here we will specify the size, how many items we want within our list. So let's say 4 items we want. Now let's try to add items to our list. So L.add method we will use over here and pass the item name that we want to include within our list. So it will be subjects. So C++, I will duplicate this line. Okay, so instead of C++ it will be C, then here will be Java, and at last I will have PHP. Okay, so we have added these 4 items to our list, and now I will create one label over here, so which will display subjects. Okay, subjects, and this will be L7. Here as well we will make it L7. Okay, so this is how we will specify the list. After list, now I will try to use choice over here. So how I will create the object of choice class. So choice C is equal to new choice. Okay, so we have created the object of choice class, and add now certain items to our choice. So C.add, and here we will try to display cities. Okay, so Nasik will be first one. I will duplicate this like this. It will be Pune, and it will be Mumbai. Okay, these 3 cities we have added to our choice. Okay, and again I will use label over here to display the cities. Okay, so this will be label 8, and here we will have city, and we will add that label like this. Okay, and at last now one button I will create. So button B1 is equal to new button, and text I will specify here send data. Okay, like this, and we will add this button. So add B1. Okay, near about all required components we have added to our form. Now let's try to see how it will look. Okay, file got compiled. And you can see now all GUI components are appearing over here one by one as we are using flow layout. Okay, so at last we got this city subjects. Okay, the thing is that we forgot to add this choice and list to our frame. Okay, so here I will use add and L. Okay, in the same way I will add the choice. Okay, so here will be C. Okay, and now again I will compile. Okay, and now you can see we have this list box and we have this choice box. Okay, and at last we have this send data button. Now let's try to arrange this component properly. Okay, now for that what I will do, I will remove this flow layout and I will pass null over here. Okay, and I will take this statement to the start of our code. Okay, here I will try to place it, so our program will know that we are not using any kind of layout over here, and we will use setBounds method. Now setBounds method is used for arranging component at required place. So this method requires 4 parameter: xy position and width height. So let's try to arrange this first label registration form. So I will write L1 dot setBounds. Okay, and we will try to specify the xy position first of all. So let's say 400, and y position will be 100, and its width will be 100, height will be 50. Okay, now we will try to check whether it will appear. Now you need to play a lot of with this setBounds method until you get proper result. So it is based on trial and error. Okay, so we will take little bit to the upside. Okay, next to this I will try to arrange this L2. Okay, that is first name. So x will be 400, here will be 50, and here will be 50. Okay, now y position will be 100. Okay, let's try to see how it will look. Okay, so it should be L2. Okay, and again I will compile. Okay, then okay, we will take it little bit to the left side. Okay, so instead of this 400 I will make it, let's say 150. So once we got right position, we will keep adding all the elements to the same line. Okay, okay, it is fine. A little bit I will shift it to the right side. Okay, after this now I will arrange this text field now. So it will be T1, and its X position we will try to shift little bit. So it will be, let's say 400. Okay, and now okay, we are getting text over here. Its height is little bit less, only 10 we have specified. So let's make it 50. Okay, so after that next label we will try to set. I will copy this and it will be label 3. So here will be L3 and set bound. So again y position we will try to change. So x will be 250 and y will be 200. Okay, and I will copy this, and we will arrange now text field T2. X position we will try to change, so it will be 400. Okay, now let's try to compile this. Okay, okay, we are getting first name, last name. Okay, we will make its height little bit less. Okay, now we will try to set the position for this address. Okay, so here again I will use this statement over here, and let's change it for L4, and X will be 250, Y will be 300 and 50. Okay, and for this text area I will copy this, and here I will make a.set bound, so we will make it 400. Okay, and here the length and the height we will keep as it is. Okay, let's try to check how it will look. So okay, fine. So okay, so for this we will add set bound, we will use it for L6 like this, and now Y will be 400, X will be 200. In the same way now we will do it for our two radio buttons. Okay, so it will be C4, and here will be, let's say, 400. Okay, and I will copy this, and for checkbox C5 X will be 500. Okay, so let's try to check. Okay, they are appearing properly. Okay, so for this there should be 250. Okay, so it will look better. Now next to this, now we will try to add hobbies. Okay, so for hobbies label I will copy this, and now I try to adjust for label 5, so it will be 250 again, it will be 500. Now in the same way we will adjust for first checkbox, so it will be C1, and set bound, so we will make it 350 over here. X will be 350, Y will be same. Okay, I will copy this, we will make it 450. Here will be C2. Okay, and after this here will be C3, and here I will make 550. Okay, so let's try to check. Okay, you can see now they are appearing properly. Okay, over here. Now next to this we have subjects list. Okay, so that label we will try to add, so I will try to copy this, and here I will make it L7, and X position will be 250, Y position will be 600, Okay, and all things will as it is. I will copy this, and here I will make L, and this should appear at 350. Y position will be same. Okay, in the same way, let's try to set the position for city label. So here we will have L8, and this position will be 250, and this will be 700. Okay, and after this I will add this. So here I will make it C. Okay, this will be 350, and this will be 800. Okay, not 800, 700. Okay, Y position will be same. Now you can see the list and the choice is appearing over here. Okay, now next to this, what last thing is remaining? Our button. So I will copy this, and we will say here B1. Okay, so its position will be 400 for X. For Y it will be 750, and width and height will be same. Okay, and now you can see the button is appearing over here. Okay, now what I will do, I will just try to increase the height little bit. Okay, so let's see how it will look. Okay, so little bit we will try to shift it below. Okay, so instead of 750 we will make it 800. Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, so we are getting all components over here, you can see. So if we are start typing and exceeding the length, it showing the scroll bar. Okay, male, female, hobbies, you can select the subjects and city. Okay, so this list and this choice we will try to shift little bit below. Okay, so where it is, here it is our choice. Okay, so Y position is, let's say, 720, and for this let's say 620. So again I will compile. Okay, so now it is looking perfect. Okay, now next thing what I will do, let's try to add color. Okay, so I will create one color over here. Let's say color bg is equal to new color, and RGB value I will try to specify, let's say 46, and let's say 2 and 25. Okay, this background color I have created, and now I will use set background, and we will pass this bg color over here. Okay, and in the same way we will try to set the foreground color. Okay, so I will say color dot white. Okay, and now let's try to compile our code again. Okay, so you will be able to see now we are getting this background color, and our foreground color becomes white. But now whatever we are typing over here, it is not visible. Okay, so we will try to change the color for them as well. So we will try to set the foreground color. for first of all this text field. Okay, so here I will write t1 dot set foreground, and we will pass color dot white. I will copy this. Then same thing we will do for t2. So here will be t2. Then next to that for text area, so here I will make a dot set foreground. In the same way I will make it for list. So here we will make L dot set foreground. Okay, in the same way here we will make it C dot foreground, and for button B1 dot set foreground. Okay, like this. Now let's try to compile again. Okay, so for button, instead of white it should be black. Okay, for this I will use set background, and let's say BG. Okay, and now in the same way we will use for this as well. Okay, so you will be able to see now how this registration form is looking. Okay, so we have not added any event handling over here, just we have designed this form with AWT controls. Okay, so this is how we will create simple registration form using different AWT controls in Java programming language. Friends, if you find this video useful, please like and share this video. I will see you in next video. Thank you for watching.